Hello everyone, my name is Shantanu. I am currently studying in the second year of BA LLB, and today I will discuss about mutation, record of rights and the process of registration and all of that. We will discuss this topic with regards to some fundamental questions. Now before going further, I would like to thank Ageless Legal for providing this wonderful opportunity. And so without any further delay, let's get started. Now the first question which we have is what exactly this mutation is all about. Now mutation has two different meanings. In literal English it means change. In this pandemic era you must have heard that this COVID-19 mutates very fastly. That is, the genetic form of COVID-19 changes very fastly. So mutation stands for change in English. But legally it has got some little different meaning. Legally, mutating a property or mutation of property is the acknowledgement of the fact that the transfer of property has happened from one person to another by government departments. In very simple words, mutation is the process of telling government that the transfer of property or the change in the ownership of property has happened. Now this mutation is a process and it happens on the record of rights. Now what are these record of rights? Record of rights are certain records kept by government departments, and it has details of that property, the owner of that, the name of the owner of that property, whether that property had some encumbrance or not, the area of that property, the tax payable on that property, and etc. These are land revenue records or municipal records. So these are just some examples of what are record of rights. Now this is what is mutation and what are record of rights. Now the second question, which is very frequently asked question, is that whether this process of mutation transfers title or not. That is, whether this process of mutation is a valid proof of title or not. Now we will look at this question with the help of an example. Now let's say there is one land situated in Maharashtra. It's an agricultural land, and now it has its own 712 extract, which is an example of a record of rights. And on that extract, X is the owner of that property, but X sells this property to Y by a registration of a sale deed, and all the legalities have been followed by both. That is, the registration has happened, proper stamp duty has been paid on that property. Now Y has become the owner of that property as per the sale deed on that date, but the record of rights, that is the 712 extract, has not been updated yet. So the record of rights are showing that X is the owner of that property on that very same date. Now two different documents for one single property on that same date are showing that two different owners are there for that single property. So in this scenario, who is the real owner of property? Now the answer to this is Y is the real owner of property. But why? Why? Because it has been reiterated by the Honorable Supreme Court of India that mutation does not give you a valid proof of title. Valid proof of title are always your transfer documents, transfer deeds. The moment the registration of sale deed or any kind of other transfer deed happens and all the legalities are followed, on that very moment the transfer of property, the process of transferring property has become completed. There is nothing left to it, irrespective of the fact that whether mutation of that property has happened or not. It will not stop the transfer of title in favor of Y. But Y has the legal obligation to mutate this property on his name. It is his legal obligation, but that does not stop the transfer of title from X to Y. Now we will come to third question, and it's related to the second question, that then if this process of mutation is not giving me title, then why mutation is necessary at all? Why should I go through this cumbersome process? Now to answer this question, there are two dimensions to this question. The first is the point of view of government, and the second is from the point of view of lawyer or a client. The government's point of view is extremely important. Now government takes tax on several properties, and hence it has to keep the record of these properties along with the name of their owners, because it is obvious that who will pay the tax? Owners will pay the tax. Now, to fix this tax liability, record of rights are extremely important. Updating record of rights is telling government that the tax liability, paying the tax liability on this property has been shifted from X to Y. I am telling government by mutating my property that the transfer has happened, and hence the liability to pay tax on this property has been shifted from one person to another. And for the fixation of this tax liability, updating the record of rights via the process of mutation is extremely important. Now let's come to the second point of view, from the point of view of government or a lawyer. Now, when a lawyer has to prepare his due diligence report, title due diligence report or search report, then he has to look at these record of rights, and he gets very essential information regarding that property, and it helps him to prepare his title due diligence report or search report, which is commonly known as search report. Because the record of rights have very essential information on it, how the title has flowed from the first owner to this owner, then whether that property had some encumbrance or not, what is the area of that property, what kind of property it is, whether it is an agricultural land or something else. So all of that a lawyer will come to know with a single perusal of these record of rights, these documents. And it is important for client because he is investing his huge amount of money for purchasing that property. So for the sake of risk mitigation, perusal of these record of rights and updating them via the process of mutation is extremely important. So this is the answer for why mutation is necessary. Now we will come to the fourth question, that is whether this process of mutation is same throughout India or not. Now, to answer this question, we should look at the 7th schedule of the Constitution of India. Now, this keeping record of rights, municipal records, or land revenue records, these topics, they come in the state list of the 7th schedule of the Constitution of India. Hence, there are different laws governing this process of mutation and record of rights in different states. So, it changes from state to state, but the broader process of mutating the property on your name and the record of rights, how the record of rights are kept by government departments. So broader process, in broad sense, if you look at it, the process is similar but not same. It definitely differs in details from state to state. If it is an agricultural land, it has a 712 extract in Maharashtra. In Bihar, it is called as Dakhil Kharij. In other northern state, it has a name of Khasra Khatoni. So it changes from state to state, but the process is broadly similar. Now the final question is why mutation is required when we do registration. And why mutation is required? Because to fix the tax liability. Then the next question, which is followed by this, is what is the clear difference between registration and mutation? Now, registration is when a draft is prepared, and a draft of any deed, let's say a sale deed, has been prepared, but you have to register that draft with the sub-registrar of that area. So that draft will have a legal meaning. Otherwise, that draft has no legal meaning and it is not legally valid. So all the process of registration is governed by the Registration Act of 1908. On the other hand, the process of mutation is governed by various state laws. If it is an agricultural land in Maharashtra, it is governed by the Maharashtra Land Revenue Code 1966, and there are other many such state laws which govern this process of mutation. But registration of any document or any deed is governed by the Registration Act, and registration is extremely simple. You prepare a draft of a deed and both the parties go to the office of sub-registrar and he registers this document, and you have to pay the proper stamp duty on it, and that's it. Now I will show you the example of record of rights, mutation and registration. Now this is a relinquishment deed. It's in Marathi. but you will see here that this is the seal of sub-registrar. This is the registration number, this is page number, and this is year. On every single page of this deed you will see the seal of sub-registrar, this, and this is a proof, and this is what the stamp duty which has been paid. Now look at this, every single page has this seal of sub-registrar along with the page number and year and the registration number. This, look at this. Now the seal of sub-registrar is extremely important to know that whether any deed has been registered or not. Now I will show you the record of rights. Now look at this, it is written record of rights information. Now this is an example of 712 extract for agricultural land in Maharashtra. You will not understand, I will not go into the details, and it's in Marathi so I will not explain, but this is how it looks. This is a 712 extract, and these are details regarding the nature of that property. These are the name of owners and all of that. Now I will show you how the mutation entries are done. This is not legible, but these are mutation entries, and they say that how this transfer has happened, that how the present owner has got this property. So this is what all about mutation, record of rights, and registration. So in order to sum up, mutation is extremely important for fixing tax liability, for understanding the nature of that property, and mutation is nothing but updating record of rights and telling government that the transfer has happened. And registration of a deed is extremely important to give a validity to that deed, and it is governed by the Registration Act of 1908. So that's all about what is mutation, what are record of rights, and what is registration. I hope you must have understood this, and I thank you so much for watching.